And I think for AI, it's the first technology that allows us to truly eliminate particular elements of work. Work that is repetitive, that is process-driven, and not necessarily benefits from human engagement or involvement.
Hello and welcome back to Hire We Go, where every episode we sit down with someone in the TA trenches and walk you through how to tackle one real challenge step by step. I'm Ashlie Collins, and today my guest is Andrew Baker, the Global Head of Intelligent Solutions and AI Strategy, love that title, at Hudson Talent Solutions. Andrew brings with him over 15 years of experience across RPO, enterprise TA, and consulting. And what makes his approach unique is how he blends AI, data, and design thinking, making hiring not just smarter, but more human and inclusive. Andrew, thank you so much for joining us today and being willing to open up your plethora of experience with the Hire We Go audience. I've been really looking forward to this conversation to really dig into how to stop using offshoring as a Band-Aid and really redesign global hiring for capability instead. And I've been reading some of your content on LinkedIn, and it just seems like for decades, offshoring has been about buying cheap capacity. In your opinion, how is AI forcing TA leaders to completely rethink that strategy?
Yeah, awesome. Kia ora and thanks, Ashlie. It's awesome to be here. I think we're at a fundamental tipping point when we come to the introduction of AI, especially in the realm of talent acquisition and more broadly. And that it's probably the first opportunity for us to really think about the elimination or the augmentation and reimagination of work. I think traditionally we've had a very safe playbook, especially in HR, where we've offshored cost or we've focused on very broad programs around continuous improvement and process optimization as our two levers to unlock value and get work done. And I think for AI, what we're really learning and seeing in the workforce programs that we run at scale globally is that it's the first technology that allows us to truly eliminate particular elements of work. Work that is repetitive, that is process-driven, and not necessarily benefits from human engagement or involvement. So I think some of that really low-hanging fruit around scheduling or the consolidation of insight and information. So we're seeing a lot more organizations now start to enter a conversation where we can stop some of the work we've traditionally done. And that's opening up two additional conversations for us. How might we then reimagine the work that remains and the opportunity we have to add more value and reimagine the value contribution to roles, skills, and the humans in recruitment workflows. But it also starts to open up a new conversation of what can we start? What might not have been possible in a world pre-AI, and what now might be possible if we were to harness AI in a really forward-thinking or future-forward way.
Yeah, and I love that. And I think one of the things that is so fantastic about the approach that you take is sort of forcing that mapping of your existing process, right? Not just doing things for the sake of doing it. You know, here at Joveo, I've got 11 agents that we can deploy, and which one should we deploy to solve your problems? And so I'd really love if you could walk us through what that redesign process and phase looks like, and how you can, instead of just plugging in basic AI tools, how you can use agentic workflows to take over multi-step execution, and where do humans jump in for judgment?
Absolutely. No, I'd love to. And I think if I think of all the conversations I have each and every day with our clients or potential clients, there's probably two realities that are playing out now. There are the clients that have gone, AB, we brought this really great platform or this really great technology, and we're not getting any value out of it. It's sat there. We're not getting the adoption. We're not seeing it unlock value. And the others are facing into a really complex conversation where all of the vendors they've always worked with are now AI vendors. And they've got an AI mandate and they can't reconcile the two. Where do I start?
Yeah.
And we don't think it's rocket science. We like to think that it's a very human-led, human-centered design way of working. So we start by really stepping back and go, what is the workflow? But at the task level. I think the ability to map out tasks that are traditionally all human-led across the workflow gives you real visibility of how work is done today. And then we overlay a couple of different perspectives on that. We obviously overlay the opportunity to automate, to eliminate some of that work through the smart use of AI capability. We start to overlay the opportunity where we could augment and potentially reimagine the way we add value or do steps within that work at the task level. Yeah. And then we sort of step back and go, where might the human now add value to this workflow? Is it more top of funnel, experience design, sourcing expertise, I think still remains deeply human? Or is it more in that advisory, and can we funnel more intelligence into the way that we add value to the hiring manager in the organization? So that's sort of typically how we work. We also encourage our clients to run a proof of value, start small, pick something simple. Yes. You don't have to reimagine the entire workflow. In fact, we often find for larger organizations, you could spend a year redesigning end to end. But let's pick one step, let's prove value, let's start enabling the team to work in an augmented reality where some of your peers are agents. And from there, we can build sort of almost the groundswell and the appetite to do more. So my preference is always single agent, task-based. Let's prove value. Let's get used to this new way of working. And I often find through an effective proof of value, we build an appetite that enables us to move more towards a multi-agent reality as well.
Yeah. And I think that's so critical because this is unforged territory for so many folks. And it can be overwhelming just to get your head around how many different agents there are, let alone where all of those agents fit into every single step of your process flow. So keeping that digestible is huge. And once those agentic workflows are running the heavy execution, what parts of the candidate relationship strictly require local context, proximity, and human trust, in your opinion?
Yeah, definitely. We've obviously, AI is a large conversation in market, and there's still a lot of curiosity around the role that AI plays in recruitment and recruitment decisions. We play a fairly safe line. We're a global organization, and a lot of the AI capabilities we deploy are really around compressing the hiring cycle, uplifting or enhancing the candidate experience, but not really aligned to making or informing the recruitment decisions. We've kept those uniquely human. Yeah. And I think that enables us to transcend global legislation and the narratives and conversations and the risks involved with AI use. When we think about where we therefore have our recruiters repositioned, a number of those recruiters are segmented into more advisory roles, where they're really watching the orchestration play out of the agents working in harmony to move talent through. But they innately are accountable for making the human decisions around whether candidates progress or are reconsidered for other opportunities, or their journey with the organization ends at that point. So any decision-making step is uniquely human, and that's where we really focus on our TA advisors playing that core role.
Yeah. And it's wonderful because it really empowers TA to function in an advisory capacity and really bring to the forefront what they're excited to do and what they're uniquely good at. So I'd love to hear that. And thank you so much for walking us through, your background and your work and your approach. It's been a really fantastic conversation. And I hope you all listening have something that you can take forward to the desk tomorrow.
Thanks, Ashlie.
Thank you. Until next time.